Hey y'all, welcome back to the Praying Single Mom podcast, a podcast with the intention of bringing ease to Christian single moms all over the world as we discuss weekly real life issues such as parenting, mental health, childhood trauma, domestic violence, and much more. I'm your host, Lekeshia Cody. Let's get into it. Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of the Praying Single Mom podcast. So if you listen to the most recent episode, I did tell you guys that I would follow up with a part 2 of that, and I'll talk about how to tell when someone is leading you on in a relationship or a situationship or whatever it is. Y'all may not even really be committed like that, but you can tell, or you have this type of gut feeling that you are being led on. And so first you want to ask yourself, like, why do I think I'm being led on? Why do you think they're leading you on? What led you to have this feeling, right? Whatever it is, I can confidently say that there is 90% chance that your gut feeling is spot on. Anytime you feel like you're being led on, most of the time, what you are feeling, if something feels off and you're questioning their intentions, you probably should, right? And I don't want to be like a negative Nancy or anything like that, because sometimes we do overthink, and sometimes we have trust issues, and sometimes we have certain things that trigger us. But after you address these feelings or these concerns and it still circle back, if you feel like you're being led on, 9 times out of 10, you are being led on, right? And so I want to get into some of the signs, or you can tell when someone is leading you on and that you really need to let them go, right? Number 1, they said that they're not looking for anything serious, or they just want to go with the flow. They don't really want to be committed, or they can't be committed for whatever reason. And like we talked about in a previous episode, they give you this excuse like, you're too good for me, I'm not ready for a type of woman like you, but they won't leave you alone, right? And so number 1, they said that they're not looking for anything serious. This is something that a lot of us tend to ignore. Some people tell you straight up that they are going to lead you on, and you just ignore it or you deny it, right? If they tell you that they're not looking for anything serious, or they're not ready for a relationship, or they're dealing with someone else, they're trying to get over someone, this and this and that, why are you denying it or ignoring it, right? When someone tells you this in the beginning, but then they start treating you like they want a relationship, I think a lot of times we assume that they've changed their mind. Because what will happen is they'll tell you, I don't want nothing serious, I don't want a relationship, I'm not ready for that, but they won't leave you alone. They'll start treating you like they want a relationship, and that's confusion. And I don't like confusion. I like clarity. Say it with me. I like clarity and I need clarity. But we cannot assume, no matter their actions. If they said that they didn't want something serious, then they start treating you like they do, they are leading you on openly. Girl, if they say that they don't want anything serious, they can't commit for whatever reason, they're not ready, they're not available to love you the way that you need to be loved, but then they start texting you and they want to have sex with you, they want to do all of these different type of things, they're telling you how pretty you are, flirting with you, they are leading you on openly, honey. That's a red flag, right? Another sign that someone is leading you on is that they are newly single. Not every newly single person is someone who is not serious, but there's a good chance that if they are fresh out of a relationship, they are not ready to settle down. They may be using you to get over that person. They may just be using you as a placeholder to help take the pain away, or to kill time. Or if they claim to be over their ex and didn't plan on leading you on, it will likely still turn out that way. So stay alert. And the thing about people who are newly single, it gets tricky because they could still be going back and forth with that previous person, because we already know how messy that can be, right? Another sign that you could be being led on is that they don't keep in touch with you that much. Someone who is leading you on only gives you the perfect amount of attention so that you will seek them out. They want you to think they're interested in you just enough so that they don't really have to make the effort or whatever. And so they'll reach out to you, and it's like a cat and a mouse game. They like the chase. So if you act or play hard to get, or you don't contact them for a few hours, here they come reaching out to you. But as soon as you fall for the little trap and you start reaching out to them so much, they back off, right? And that's another sign. Another sign that you are potentially being led on. He could be, or this person could be, real charming, right? Anytime you feel like someone is too charming or too smooth, they got all of these different type of sayings, they probably are leading you on. When someone is truly interested in you, they are so nervous. Even the most confident ones are super nervous because they care so much. They don't want to mess anything up. And they were probably nervous in the beginning, but eventually you let your guard down, and then they just start kind of saying everything to kind of make you feel good. Everything that they say is so perfect, and it's not because they are perfect. They're just great at playing you to get what they want. So just keep an eye out for that. Another sign is that they like you too much, way too fast. And we're not saying that you don't deserve someone that likes you, but when someone likes you a lot without even knowing you, it's a red flag. It's love bombing. This person, seems to think that this is the best way to grab your attention real fast, right? And we tend to fall head over heels for it. We tend to fall for it really quick. But the question is, what do they really know about you to like you that much? Do they really like you that much? All of the different type of things. So you want to be mindful of love bombing. I think I have an episode that talks about love bombing and how to spot the manipulation early on, right? Another sign that you're being led on is that they don't live up to their word, right? Words only go so far. So if they make plans and they cancel them, or they say they'll call you later but they don't, they say they'll text you later but they don't, or they say y'all gonna do something and y'all don't do it, that means that they are not as invested as they claim to be, right? Because people make time for what they want to and who they want to. So in this case, if you're wondering, like, are they leading me on? This will probably lead you to the correct answer. They're not living up to their word, so they are leading you on. Right? This is my favorite one. They are confusing. They are confusing. If you're talking to someone who makes you question everything, he is probably leading you on. He wants to find a balance between keeping you interested and keeping his distance, so he doesn't have to take accountability for hurting you later on. And they'll say things like, I told you what it was, you knew what it was from the jump, I told you this, I told you that, this and this and that. And so they keep you around long enough, right? But they are confusing, right? Because when you pull away, they want to do this little chase thing, right? And so if they making you feel crazy, it's because they're either trying to do that, or they're just not even realizing that they are being confusing. Sorry. You don't need that type of confusion, honey. It doesn't feel good at all. Another sign that you are potentially being led on is that their story is always changing. Did they tell you that they were free on Thursday, but when Thursday come around, they have other plans? You don't hear from them. Did they tell you that they would text you at 8, but when 8 o'clock come, they don't reach out, they don't respond to you? They cannot keep their promise because they're probably, whatever it is, they're just not as invested or not interested, okay? Another sign is that they struggle to make plans. A person that is leading you on will not really make plans. They'll say one thing one moment, but they will not follow through with the plans for whatever reason that is, right? Here's a clear indicator that you're being led on is that you're always waiting for them. Are you always waiting for them to text you? Are you waiting for them to be over their ex or have time for the relationship? If they are always keeping you waiting for whatever reason, not only do they not consider that your time is valuable, because it is, but they don't consider you to be as valuable either. And that doesn't mean that you are not valuable. We talked about this on the previous episode, that their inability to see your value or your worth has nothing to do with how valuable you are. It's just them. It's not you, right? This one is a good one. They always turn the conversation to sex. A lot of people that lead you on are looking for one thing, and that's sex. If that's what you want, okay. But if not, know that they will string you along to get what they want. And honestly, you'll end up hurt, because at the end of the day, if that's all they want, then they're just using you for their enjoyment. Another sign that you're being led on is that they don't go anywhere with you. Someone who is leading you on puts in the exact amount of effort that they need to put in just to keep you interested, right? They'll reach out and do all of the things just to keep you in. They'll say the right thing, but they will not do anything that they don't want to do, right? That means that they won't take you out for dinner, nothing. They'll stay local and maybe even out of sight, right? They'll use the same lies. If they repeat themselves a lot, there's a good chance that they're probably leading you on. Maybe they're using like pet names too early. They repeat something that they know you responded well to before. And it's just, they'll use like the same lines over and over to reel you in, right? This one is a good one. They overreact to your worries. So if you're a mature person and you share your concerns with them and they get defensive or guilt trip you for whatever reason for questioning them, they're leading you on and they're good at it. They try to make you feel like you're crazy or you're always doing the most or you're too deep, all of these different type of things, right? And so these are just some of the things to keep in mind, that, you know, you're dealing with someone who does not want to put in the same effort as you're putting in, and they probably already made this clear from the beginning, but you decided to stay in it, and now that you're in love, you want this to be a relationship when they told you initially what it was. And so you definitely want to go ahead and make that decision and get out of it. Why do people lead you on? Because you let them. Because you let them. You let them lead you on, and they don't want a relationship. However, because you are allowing them to be in your space, to take up space in your life, even though they've told you and made it clear to you that they don't want a relationship, they're going to stay around. Another reason they may be leading you on is that because they are in a relationship with someone else, whether it be emotionally, physically, mentally, whatever it is. They may already be taken, right? They may got in a fight, or they may be, going through something. And so they may be in a relationship. The reason why they may be leading you on is because they really haven't made up their mind. They may be considering a relationship with you, but they are just not sure in this moment. And so if someone is not sure, then you really need to give them the space. And that doesn't mean that you have to wait around for them to get it together, right? Another reason they could be leading you on is that they're waiting for something quote unquote better to come along, right? So they'll be leading you on, stringing you on until they're waiting for their perfect person to come along. Like, he likes you, but he just doesn't want to commit himself to you until his supermodel shows up or whatever, or this perfect person shows up, right? And so just keep all of those things in mind. They could also be leading you on because they are bored. During the pandemic, this was a big one. People were in a pandemic relationship. They had pandemic booze because they were just bored, right? And they wanted companionship. They didn't like being alone. And so I could go on and on and on, but if this is you, if this resonated with you, you understand that you do not deserve a one-sided relationship with someone who does not show you any respect. Listen, you don't want to be with anyone that is leading you on. So walk away from it. Let it go. You deserve better. You deserve someone that is going to give you the same love that you put out and all of those things, right? And so, ladies, I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode. I hope that it helped you. And let me know. Tag me in your stories, send me inboxes, let me know if this was something that you were able to resonate with. All right, ladies, be blessed.